Get psyched here. Get psyched here. Right in there. Right in there. Hey there. This is Preston. And he's really running the house. So that takes us to our first news item. Emotional support animals. Last week was the end of an era. And the new era is dog-led. So just like this house, the airlines are really going to be led by dogs, because only dogs can be service animals now. So no more worrying about whether a pet ostrich or my favorite, a boa constrictor, is in that middle seat next to you. So just dogs. And the big deal is now that airlines can actually charge for service animal carriage, even if they're going to go underneath the seat. So DOT expects maybe $60 million of revenue for the airlines. Pretty soon we're going to be paying for the air we breathe in those things, but at least you know if something's in the middle seat and it's not a human, it's a dog, at least they're paying their way. Max? Hey, okay, I'm not going to do all that again. It was funnier the first time. Hey, but 2020 has been a difficult year. Some very bad vibes in the air. Meme experts have had a field day on social media, and I'm a little bit superstitious anyway, so I'm not going to be on this flight. American Airlines has scheduled Miami to New York with a Boeing 737 MAX on December 29th. Why would you squeeze that in 2020? Why not wait for a whole new refresh, get rid of this year, start fresh for the new year instead of trying to squeeze it in? To build confidence, American took some reporters out and flew them around all in the back seat, in the back, in regular passenger seats, so that they would have confidence. The MCAS system is only supposed to be triggered one time, and then pilots are supposed to have full control. I am sure that was not on the limited menu that they were going to try out during that flight. So fingers are crossed on this one. But in another first, Ryanair put an order in for 75 Boeing MAX jets. That's the first MAX order since the plane was grounded. So I wonder if they got a little bit of a discount on that one. Hey, we're still messing around with budgets. Got past the December 11th deadline. We're into another deadline at the moment. But hey, the good news is aviation, airports, airline relief packages are all back on the table. So for a while there, our industry was off the table. Now we're back, $45 billion or so for transportation. There's $4 billion at least for airports. There's some for transit. A lot of anything will, obviously help. So, but first we have to keep the government open. We're not sure about that yet. Hey, looking at some data from after Thanksgiving. The Sunday after Thanksgiving was the big travel day with over 1 million passengers. But whoa, what a drop off the following week. It looked more like August. What a dive. Can't blame fears of flying the MAX, but I'm sure that one's going to start creeping into, people not wanting to go. But hey, traffic has really fallen off, and it looks like it's staying off a little bit. We'll have to see what happens over the Christmas holiday. Hey, most of you know I'm a pretty big race fan. Mostly cars, but Red Bull Air Races, Drone Racing League, they're all aviation focused, and the demonstration and skill and technology advancements are pretty fascinating. I'm a firm believer in trickle down. So what they can do there kind of comes into, the next generation, starts impacting and being better for our daily lives, especially in this industry. With the electric aircraft market taking off, we're starting to see some racing in that market. There's something called the Airspeeder in Alauda MK4. It's a single seat race machine. It's entering, trying to create a new race zone where these single seaters will race against each other, and kind of a Grand Prix style. So sites have been selected already, and they could start as early as next year. Now I've only seen pictures of the aircraft. I've never seen anything fly, but the idea is to generate enthusiasm for these flying cars, and that I think is pretty darn cool. They did this about 100 years ago. That's why motorsports started, so that they could generate interest in the newfangled car. So it'll be pretty fascinating. So you've got to start somewhere, and the performance is pretty low. It's more like those cars back 100 years ago. 80 miles an hour top speed, flight duration of just 12 minutes. It sounds more like a small DJI drone, to be honest. But having that enthusiasm, some excitement building around what seems to be a pretty hot market right now is pretty cool. What we need is that to trickle down into battery technology, and that's probably going to be the big focus, where you get more power, long endurance. Certainly Tesla's leading the way, so maybe we'll see a Tesla racing air machine, which would be cool. Red Bull gives you wings, Tesla gives you speed. So anyway, well, we'll see what happens there. Keep an eye on it. Hey, Preston, cut it out. I told you, going to the dogs. A company called Dronamics is gearing up to take advantage of the drone regulations, which kind of ease up in Europe in January of 2021. They expect to become the first commercial large drone same-day delivery service across Europe. They have a network. They have 35 airports in 11 countries. They expect to be able to reach 300 million people with same-day air cargo delivery. And so they're using a drone called a Black Swan. It's pretty big. It can carry a lot of stuff. It utilizes an automated flight control system, but it'll go from these ports to ports. And since they don't have to worry about pilots and things, and they're extremely efficient, that it'll be quick and easy. It's not like FedEx or UPS where they have to really go with volume. They can do a lot less and keep moving things around and still make money. So Europe is definitely leading in this kind of sector with the kind of regulations that allow these businesses to try to take off. We have a lot of talk in this country, but we haven't really done anything. We don't even have a vertiport advisory circular. They canceled the one in 2019, and they won't get to another one until 2020. And Europe could be having vertiports start next month. So way beyond the FAA's Lance program and how they've handled these kinds of things, Europe is really kind of maybe even implementing faster than we've ever seen them in the past. It'll be great to watch. Hey, practice makes perfect, which I need to do a lot more practice for these videos. But training is always at the core of aviation. With traffic being down for so long, an underlying risk is emerging that pilots aren't getting enough opportunity not only to fly, but also to train. So with scaled-back operations, scaled-back travel, can't really gather, then even pilots' ability to get into simulators is being impacted. So ICAO has called for flight crews to be recognized as key workers, so that can change, and this would enable crews to get access to training facilities better, maintain their certifications and proficiencies, and it even trickles down into how you get your medical certificate and how that gets processed. So a lot of these things are having an impact on not only just generally, we can see it in the industry, on very specific people that we rely on when we get in the back of the plane. Who needs passengers? Who needs cargo? Some pilots just like to fly, and when you can fly if you want to fly during the pandemic, you should join Jet Test and Transport. No, they are not a sponsor of this video, but it is pretty cool. They usually take trips that are one way. All those airplanes that are coming out of storage or going into storage, coming off of lease and going into to another company for lease, all basically go one way, get handed off to the company that now has them under their control. And the people that do that are Jet Test and Transport. They fly one way, they handle about the 20,000 leased aircraft, and at the end of the lease they just take them to the new lessor, and aircraft are a highly mobile asset, so they just have to get there and then they have to get home. That's part of the problem that they're having. There's a little bit of print about what they have to do, but they're still super in business, and a lot of planes are coming out of storage, especially those Boeing Maxes. So they're pretty busy. Cool operation. It's a good thing somebody thought of it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.